Happy Monday, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. It's a green Monday for once. It feels like it's been a while, but for actually various reasons that we're going to get into in today's video, we had a pretty nice weekend with some positive developments both at the macro and the micro level. We're going to begin with the micro level. We'll be discussing updates with projects like Polygon, ticker MATIC. We'll be discussing Chainlink. And then we're going to move up into the macro, looking at Ethereum and London, the major hard fork that is coming up. We'll then get into why ultimately, in retrospect, when we look back at all of this in maybe a few years from now, this whole China ban and the crackdown on mining in provinces like Sichuan, again, in retrospect, may ultimately prove to be a good thing because there's a redistribution of all the hardware, of all the mining, and of all the interest right now that's happening at an international level. Guys, if you like this kind of content, Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, altcoin coverage, be sure to like and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz News. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of a new background today, just temporary, but we are kind of experimenting with things, new layouts, new formats, and nothing that I'm quite ready to reveal or discuss just yet, but stay tuned. We're going to have some more content that's going to be making use of this kind of stuff in the near future. All right, so the market is up on this Monday, 4.3%, which is, not record shattering, but we got to celebrate the small victories here. Bitcoin above $34,000. Many are suggesting that the next key point of resistance is going to be 35K. And once we get above that, we got to turn it into support for ultimately Bitcoin to be able to carry the rest of the cryptocurrency space. Generally speaking, for various reasons, I think it's mostly a function of people's interest, which kind of fades. But generally speaking, weekends have not really been favorable toward cryptocurrencies. This weekend really has been an exception. We saw some major buying action. It may be the case that some of the bulls and the bears and the shorts were exhausted. I don't really know, but for whatever reason, we did see some very positive price action over the course of the weekend, which hopefully, fingers crossed, is going to carry over into the week. And look, you guys know the story. Very few of you are probably brand new to this space, but Bitcoin is that tide that either raises or sinks all ships. And when Bitcoin is up a couple of percentage points, you have other altcoins that are trying to make up that ground because they've been suffering. They've been bleeding above and beyond what we've seen out of Bitcoin. So we do have a lot of winners today. But let's launch now right into news about Polygon. MATIC at 0x Polygon is the Twitter handle. Join our Twitter space for a live AMA Ask Me Anything with Badger DAO and DeFi Dollar. At Vanguard, Shutterbug, Sid, and Spadaboom1 will be discussing their recently launched interest-bearing Bitcoin on Polygon. That is happening on the 28th of June. So that is happening later today, shortly after the publication of this video. Make sure it's on your radar if that's something that is of interest to you. Chainlink is also in the news. Launchpad Insurance Protocol BinstarterIO will use Chainlink VRF, that's verifiable random function, on Binance Smart Chain to secure its allocation and valuation pool selection process. VRF provides a verifiable source of randomness to ensure the fair distribution of tokens and protocols governing rights. For more information on this, you can check out binstarter.medium.com. We'll link to this, of course, in the description below. Let's discuss now, kind of edging up here the ladder structurally. Let's get into Ethereum and why many now are holding their breath for what they feel could be a very, very strong and a very convincing move to the upside for Ethereum's price based on all of the positivity that is surrounding that particular project and that blockchain on Cointelegraph.com. Ethereum looks to retake $2,000, 2K, which it has, by the way, days before London hard fork. Big breakout ahead, possibly. To go back, let's take a look at the price of Ethereum just to make sure we are 100% up to date. As I speak right now, we are above 2K. As per CoinGecko data, the price of Ethereum, $2,016.27. So that's actually up 8.7%. Ethereum outpacing the market today in terms of gains. And Ethereum, despite really, being on the cusp of so much great news, if we take a look at the last couple of months, unfortunately, Ethereum did dip below $2,000 on several occasions, dipping into that, unfortunately, 1,800, even 1,700 range. But with all that's we have to look forward to, The suggestion right here, as per the sub-headline, is that the world's second largest cryptocurrency, don't forget that's still what it is, has surged in tandem with positively correlated Bitcoin, the flagship digital asset. And the argument is that it's set to outpace Bitcoin given all that we have to look forward to in the coming weeks and months. Let's dig into this. For those that aren't necessarily all that familiar with Ethereum, you can read a little bit of the exposition here. This has mostly to do with the price history and a little bit of the chart analysis. As I mentioned, Bitcoin is that tide that either raises or sinks all ships. So just like every other asset in the space, there is a correlation with Bitcoin that, I think many Ethereans would like to break away from, but that's just how it is right now. Whether to the upside or the downside, whether positive or negative, we are very much tethered in the altcoin space to Bitcoin's price actions, and Ethereum, at least for the time being, is no exception. Let's talk about specifically, though, the London hard fork, which is a major milestone that all of a sudden is entering into a lot of discussions, including those among analysts. So, more upside tailwinds in the Ethereum market came in the wake of its major protocol upgrade in July. Dubbed as the London hard fork, the upgrade expects to transform Ethereum from an energy-intensive proof of work network to a speedier, so-called eco-friendly proof of stake network. And the fork will introduce new Ethereum improvement protocols, otherwise known as EIPs, that will propose to make its fee structure cheaper and its blockchain more scalable to handle a higher number of transactions. So what exactly are those EIPs on the table, those Ethereum improvement proposals? There are 5 main ones to consider here. EIP 1559, fee market change for ETH 1.0 change. There's EIP 3554, difficulty bomb delay to December 2021, EIP 3529, reduction in refunds, EIP 3541, reject new contracts starting with the 0x EF byte, and EIP 3198, base, that's BASE fee FEE opcode. What I personally find even more exciting than the proposals that are moving us toward proof of stake is the fact that EIP 1559 is going to move the tokenomics, if you will, the economics of Ethereum's ecosystem into a deflationary context, meaning that there's going to be an ever decreasing amount of Ether that'll be out there, and those holding Ethereum will have more control, so to speak. So this is a supply and demand kind of recalibration that will, I think, put Ethereum in the class of real institutional investment assets such as Bitcoin, which is very much admired for having that hard cap of 21 million. So not only will Ethereum effectively have a new hard cap, it's actually going to have a decreasing hard cap. There will be fewer and fewer Ether as time goes by, very much making it the opposite of, for example, a US dollar, which we can just quantitatively ease into existence, right? Central bank money printers go burr, more fiat currency is produced. Not the case with most cryptocurrencies, many like Bitcoin, but even less so with this new Ethereum proposal, which is suggesting a deflating and in fact a decreasing supply of Ether. Based on the scheduled London hard fork, that's EIP 1559 upgrade and the proposed migration to Ethereum 2.0, investors are bound to start backing the coin once more. Dominic Carosa, founder and chairman of Banksa, a fiat to crypto gateway solution, said, quote, "This backing will be particularly boosted as the base fee, one of the 2 components of the fee structure that will be ushered in by the London upgrade, will be burned. This burning effect will limit the supply of Ether and bring an end to the infinite supply crises of Ethereum." Now, this one individual has a particular outlook with regard to price. He's suggesting that Ethereum has a very good chance to hit $4,000 to $5,000 by the end of December 22. I think that's almost far too bearish, actually. I think we're going to get there not only by December 2021, but we're going to exceed that figure, $4,000 to $5,000. This is just one analyst's opinion, so read through it if you like. Go through it, however, and take it with a grain of salt, if you will. I think ultimately with all of this good news, if you do take a look at the charts, the fact that we are in a descending wedge right now and have been for some time when it comes to Ethereum's price, any continuation of this accumulation phase that we now find ourselves in, and perhaps then a reversal into a renewed bull market, I think is going to be very, very favorable for Ethereum. Again, given all the other positives that it has going for it. So let me know in the comments below, guys, when you think the price of Ethereum is going to make new all-time highs. We did touch 4,400 a couple of months ago now. It feels like it's been a while. And yeah, we certainly took a big hit. But I think firmly, let me kind of put it out there as a quantifiable and time-bound estimate. I think by fall, so September, October of this year, 2021, probably by the latest. Again, given all the activity that we're seeing right now, I personally think we're going to see new all-time highs for Ethereum. It's not an opinion that's so much driven by charts, more so by adoption metrics, more so by the tokenomics, and more so by the upgrades and the institutional interest that is flooding into this space. That's my prediction. September, perhaps October 2021, new all-time highs for Ethereum, meaning that an Ether will be about $4,400 or more. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. And if you are excited, prepared, ready for that upcoming London hard fork. We're moving up the scale now, going more macro as the video progresses with more positive news. Again, the China ban in the acute sense caused a lot of harm. It caused a lot of panic and caused a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. From the broader perspective, when you zoom out, you have to realize that it's very unlikely that a lot of these Chinese miners would just, shut off the lights and do nothing with probably millions of dollars of hardware. So check this out, courtesy of Documenting Bitcoin. China's $1 trillion mistake. Bitcoin miners are being shipped away. And whatever, these particular models are, whether they're ant miners or something else, you can just see, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of them just stacked to the rafters here in boxes. These are going to be absorbed by one other country or another, maybe even at the level of individuals of miners that, will pick up a couple, maybe a few, a dozen here or there. And then larger and larger firms, larger and larger industrial mining farms that will just, happen to be located elsewhere, not in China, I suppose. Confident as ever, we have plan B with the stock to flow model here. Bitcoin short term, yes, is volatile, but long term is trending up. The resolve was never shaken. Nothing has ever changed. We are going according to plan. And then with this interesting observation here, this reply, history rarely repeats, yes, but often it rhymes, pointing out that, as many others have suggested, this kind of bear trend, I won't call it a bear market, but this bear trend that we've now found ourselves in for a couple of months is eerily reminiscent of the patterns that people observed back in 2013. And I think the best way to describe 2013 was an interruption that individuals in the crypto space, if you were around back then in crypto, first of all, congratulations. I wasn't. This is my 5th year in crypto now, but I unfortunately was not around in 2013. I wish. Hindsight's always 2020, right? But in 2013, there was a similar level of panic. Believe it or not, there was still a lot of China FUD back then, even at that time, 8 years ago in 2013. China's like the ultimate boogeyman. It never goes away. But in 2013, we saw this kind of interrupted bull market. Things were trending upward very, very nicely indeed. Again, according to the stock to flow model and its predictions. And then all of a sudden, this kind of, bear trend, not a bear market, but a bear trend for a few months. And we had a micro top and then a flattening, then a flash crash. And then all of a sudden, a resuming bull market that just really saw that blow off top formation that everybody was expecting the whole time. Could history repeat? Could we see in 2021, possibly 2022, if it extends further, could we see what we saw in 2013? An interrupted bull market that kind of was cut short a little bit, consolidated, and then achieved its true potential, as everybody knew it would. I think it's quite possible at this point. I've mentioned it before. I'm quite adamant about the fact I don't think we're going to have to wait years and years, another 3-4 years for the next all-time high. When it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to a lot of other cryptos, I don't see that for many other reasons that, we won't get into right now. We've covered them in the past, but I'll let you guys kind of form your opinions on that. When it comes to the polls that we conduct, the majority of you are always more bullish than you are bearish, kind of on the 1-year time horizons. Michael Saylor here, quoting and actually highlighting a video from this individual. Let's describe it here for a moment. If you are hoping to preserve your wealth for a generation, Ricardo Salinas suggests you invest in Bitcoin. The strategy is simple. Choose the highest quality asset you can find and hodl. Anthony Pompliano highlighting this individual. We'll get to him in just a moment. Here's a video of Mexico's third wealthiest man, Billionaire, explaining why he believes all fiat currencies are a fraud, and he wants to hold Bitcoin over the next 30 years. Incredible to see this from Richard Salinas, given his historic wealth and success. And replying is the man himself, Ricardo Salinas Pliego. Sure, I recommend the use of Bitcoin, and me and my bank are working to be the first bank in Mexico to accept Bitcoin. If you need more details or information, follow me on my Twitter account. And you guys can check out this individual. We've talked about him in the past. I am not yet following him, but check it out. He's got the laser eyes. This guy is serious. This isn't a nobody. This isn't some unproven upstart. Mexico's third largest man and multi-billionaire. You can read more about it here. We're on Coindesk.com. Billionaire Salinas says he's working for his bank to be the first in Mexico to take Bitcoin. Fiat is fraud. He's not mincing his words. So don't forget, we've had Nayib Bukele out of El Salvador. We've had countries now that are very quickly with their legislation looking to do the same thing in Paraguay, in Panama, to make Bitcoin national legal tender. And I don't think he's going to do it on his own, but here you have Ricardo Salinas that is trying to, move that yardstick forward. And we're going to be on top of this. We're certainly going to follow the story because I doubt very much it would end here. Going back a little bit to actually the story about Chinese mining equipment being redistributed. We also have Iran in international news that although we've heard rumblings out of Iran, about cryptocurrency bans and whatnot, the indication seems to be that it's more about control and licensing than it is about an outright ban. So check this out. Iran's Ministry of Industry issues 30 licenses to crypto mining farms. Tehran's province, which houses the country's capital and center of political power, has received only one license. So check this out. In spite of a blanket ban resulting from power shortages caused by a lack of rain, Iran's Ministry of Industry, Trade, and Mining has exempted a number of crypto mining farms across the country. And according to a report by the Financial Tribune on Wednesday, the ministry has granted permission for 30 crypto mining farms to operate after issuing licenses. If you are a member of, if you're an Iranian member, I should say, of the Altcoin Buzz army, and you have, your ear to the ground on this issue, I find this very intriguing because we kind of almost were traditionally discussing Iran in the context of China's little brother when it came to their stance on cryptocurrency. Iran bans Bitcoin, bans cryptocurrency. That doesn't at all seem to be the case. It seems to be that rather than banning it, they really just want to control it. If they're issuing 30 distinct licenses here, it's not because they want to squash this industry. Again, my contention, just from my perspective, from this point of view, is that they very much want to control the industry. 30 crypto mining units have license now, according to the Financial Tribune. Check it out, guys. We'll link to it in the description below. And again, if you are an Iranian member of the Altcoin Buzz army, first of all, let me know about it in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective on this particular matter because it seems to be a favorable development. Again, going back to China's $1 trillion mistake, they can shut things down. They can make sure that there's no Chinese person effectively that's going to be mining cryptocurrency, at least at an industrial farming level. That doesn't mean the rest of the world has to follow their lead. And we're now seeing that. We're now seeing that redistribution of not only the mining equipment, but the interest. Let me know what you think about that, guys. But that about wraps it up for today. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into our website, altcoinbuzz.io. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications if you enjoyed today's video. Best of luck, of course. If you choose to invest on this Monday, wishing you a great start to your week. Check out these other videos that we have playing here to catch up with our latest. Stay safe, members of the Altcoin Buzz army. As always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.